Short update. I am preparing to plant bulbs. These are from Lidl's. They were quite cheap, 5-6 euros for 38 bulbs. They have two categories. It says fragrant garden, and it has these varieties. And then there's summer garden, and it has these varieties. So I can plant them, it says, from September to April, and I'm making the labels for them. Now I intend, or I want to be able to propagate them and sell them as this specific color of, or this specific variety of whatever the species. Thing is, they are in bulk, so they're not labeled, but you can categorize them by what they look like. And I don't know what these bulbs are, and I don't know what these are. I know these are narcissus, but there's two varieties, so I'll have to wait and see. That's why I made two labels with the narcissus on them, so then when they do differentiate themselves, I will move them around. And I've done the same for iris. So iris is on this one, it's on the summer one, and you can see it's mixed colors. I don't know if this is just a sample picture showing that it's mixed colors, or that it's actually yellow and purplish, whatever the color is. So I don't know if it's more than two colors, basically. But anyway, I made two, and I'm gonna keep them around until, again, they differentiate themselves, so I can label them blue, yellow, and whatever. And like I said, I want to be able to propagate them so I can sell them by their color and variety. Now, let me just get the light. I will be planting them in these containers that I used for propagation. I have a lot of them, and I'm just trying to decide on the mix. I don't know if I should do a 50-50 perlite potting soil or just potting soil. Potting soil is quite well draining, so I'm not that worried about it. I'm just thinking if it's worth doing that. Now, one more thing. I've potted up these succulents, and I just came up with a couple of reasons why maybe there was a mistake in what I did. So I put them in, I used the potting soil without mending it. I didn't put any extra perlite in it, which is not necessarily bad, but I need to keep in mind that if these are to be kept on the separate irrigation system, and obviously they don't require as much watering, then what might happen is that in the summer I probably water the rest of the plants twice a day. So they have to have a mix, or they have to be able to I need to be able to mitigate them rotting, not necessarily the roots, but the actual foliage. So the upper parts of the plant, because if it's touching and this gets saturated and it's twice a day, even in the summer, maybe it may be a problem for succulents. So I'll either use a much more well draining mix next time I put them up, which is gonna be before the next summer, probably in spring, or I can do a couple of things. One is I won't water from above anyway, so that's one. Because watering from above it will keep moisture on the plant itself, and as well as the potting soil, which I prefer that doesn't happen. And also I might be able to just regulate the water emitter so that it just barely waters them underneath, so the soil never gets saturated up to this point. Also, another thing is I could, like some of them, I put them a bit higher up, so they're a bit higher than what I will plant a different species. So I lifted them up a bit, so that the base of the plant doesn't sit in moisture if and when it gets saturated up to that point, the potting media, I mean. And the other is the other thing I could do is just change the potting mix and make it so that it's more perlite, and perlite, even if it's watered twice a day, in the summer it will just dry off very quickly, which is fine for these, and that will most likely mitigate the problem. So that should be it. Also, something else, there's more flowers coming up on this, and I have fertilized again the plants. I'm using a lower dose, which is why in spite the product label says every month do that, you can fertilize. I fertilize every 2 weeks, because one, they're in containers, so there's a very limited space for the nutrients to just accumulate. And two, I'm using it about half strength. So and the fertilizer is very light anyway. It's like 588, so it's not very strong. And the other thing, I moved these 2 mini roses further up this line instead of being here, because they are getting a bit more sun. So again, that's another thing. I'm just trying to get as much out of the sunlight as possible, now that we have it, and heat as well. So they're close to the wall. Now the wall, it's not dark, so it doesn't keep the heat around that much, but it keeps it more than no wall. So yes, just another thing, just an update on that. And then you can see, I don't know why, maybe this got damaged and died, but look at that. Look at these blooms, and they just smell amazing. And this scent can carry a huge distance. It can cover a huge distance if it has wind, enough wind to move it. And this is looking better. So I did not know much about this plant, which is silly because this is very common in Cyprus. This is Rose pelargonium, I think. I don't quite remember the Latin name. I'll probably mention it at some other time. and it smells amazing. And it didn't used to look this green, and the leaves were drying off. Yeah, the cat is having the time of his life. Anyway, and it's looking much better in a shaded spot. It's not even, it's almost fully shaded, so yeah, it's quite good. That's quite good to know. And let's see what else. So with the basil and the mint, I'll probably, you can't see it very well, I'll probably cover them in about a month or two maybe, to shelter them from the cold. But yeah, what I intend to do now is plant, like I said, in these, and I'll have to make some drainage holes most likely, because they will be out in the rain, so I won't be able to control how much water goes in there eventually. So, but yeah, once I decide the potting mix, which is probably, I'm probably gonna use the regular one, I'm going to plant as many of these as I can fit in. Ideally, I would like all of them. I will put in all of them, each species in one. If not, then okay, I'll split them in two. And then I'm just gonna leave them be, water them when the top gets dry, but well, I'll see how it goes. And oh, well, by the way, some of them have already started to sprout. Maybe you can see that one, and then this one. And something else. Also, I put, this is sort of an experiment here, but this is red onion, and I literally planted it about a couple of days ago, and I don't even know if it's doing well, but it looks like the pointy ends are growing, so I assume it's doing well, although I am seeing some bugs around, so which isn't a good sign. Anyway, if it's not going well, I lift it up higher, so the bulb is not exposed to moisture that much. Then I've got some garlic in these. Oh, I actually wrote on it. It's the Chinese one. It says they are smaller. And some other garlic in here. This is bigger one. The names on it are pretty Mickey Mouse, which I really should be writing the actual Latin name, just so I can learn it as well. But you can see it's already, this is like a week in, and you can see that tip there, it's already starting to come up. So what I'm planning to do with this is, well, I guess a couple of things. One is grow them up to be big bulbs, but most likely I will be cutting them fresh, and they're just gonna be used for food. If I see some propagation potential in them, and if I can sell them somehow, then I will, but for now they're just a science experiment. So yeah, that's it for today.